Welcome travelers from the winding trails. Grab a spot by the hearth and a pint of ale. A brief respite from our noble quest. Lean back in a chair for the Song of Rest. Hello travelers and welcome to the Song of Rest, a place where our heroes and the deities that guide them gather to share a behind-the-scenes and behind-the-screens look at the unfolding adventures in Archipeldia. Gathered before us is the Dungeon Master, Aaron Rollins, and his band of players, Dustin Bleschmidt, Janelle Wilkie, and Chad Stafford. But I'll let them do the talking, and I'll get back to playing.
I mean, I guess we can do a Song of Rest.
I suppose we can do a Song of Rest.
Like, totally do a Song of Rest. Like, oh my god, I want to do a Song of Rest.
Yeah, it's not a fight with Dragon Daddy, but it's fine, I guess.
I'm ready for a Dragon Daddy action.
God.
It's fine. I guess I can have a drink or something.
Can't believe he's bad now. Kinda dig it.
Oh, he's bad.
He was my favorite.
He's like bad, but in like a good way.
Like, I love him so much.
I like how we had the whole episode and now the whole Song of Rest is just going to be about, excuse me, but sexy Caliphran.
I said this like right after we finished the episode, but I was saying Flowerkraut also pulls out a whip.
I was like, you kept on saying he stares.
Like, let's do this. Oh, did we lose a Chad?
No, Chad, not again.
Chad, no. We did lose a Chad.
Yeah, we did.
He's like, oh shit, I'm out of here.
It's like, I'm
Well-
gonna let them get their jollies out and come back.
This is a little too much for me.
He's back.
Caliphran bumps into him and Chad goes, oh, and like gets out of the chat.
Oh! You guys missed it. Caliphran came in and he like pushed me right out of the Discord and I didn't even stop him. I could have, but I just didn't want to.
Push me again.
Push me, Dragon Daddy.
You know, it's kind of wild. We've never done an actual episode in person. It's all been online.
Yeah.
And you know, this one just happened to be where I had all the technical goofs, and Discord just would decide I just wasn't needed and would kick me out every so often.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be a couple of edits where we had to repeat ourselves. You know, but it's all good.
It happens.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It happens to the best of us, okay?
Yeah.
I'm really emotional tonight.
Think the
God.
level of goof that's going to occur when we actually are in person.
It's gonna be
Like,
Oh,
bad.
gosh.
It's going to be
I mean, it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
bad.
We're going to have some problems.
I do have a fake, since we were talking about Naruto with the mirror image shadow clone Jutsu, I have
And the disciples running Naruto style.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they're beginning to run.
I did the cheesy anime episode name is like Ambush Time. The smear campaign against Aster begins.
The smear campaign.
Amazing.
I've been watching, like, this is my first time, but I've been watching a lot of Naruto.
It's so fitting.
And props to you. I assume that means you haven't quite hit the filler episodes where things just get incredibly boring.
Caught up to the manga for like a solid season.
Yeah, it gets so bad for a while, and
no.
I think
I'm getting worried because like my hero's getting to that point too, where they are not far behind where stuff's currently happening.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, hopefully they take a breather and let the creator catch up.
That seems to be a really rough thing that happens in fiction. You know, whether it's a book, you know, like with what happened with Game of Thrones, or just, you know, the adaptations from an anime, from a manga to an anime, like Hellsing was a really crazy situation where the story is just completely different in the OVAs, but then they went back and I think they did another season of it to follow the manga, because the guy who draws the manga was, you know, one guy, you know, and it just was taken. All right, and I could be completely off on that, but like, and I just remember it was taking a very long time for manga to get released. So when those anime production companies get started on something and the story's not done yet, watch out, because they're gonna move fast.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Well, same thing happened with Blue Exorcist, and then you got a whole like undo season where it's like, okay,
Oh, no.
It's from this point of the original show to this point, and then you've got to watch I think it was the Kyoto Saga or something like that. That's like the actual ending. It's weird.
It's like my favorite example of this is always going to be Full Metal Alchemist, because
versus Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist, the first show was fucking banana sandwich insane, but it was such a clear. They had to depart from the manga almost immediately, I guess.
Oh.
So when the manga was done, they did Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is like as close to the manga as they can get.
To the T.
But it's also a completely different show.
A lot.
With some of the key elements from the early part of the original show, and then it completely spreads out and does entirely different direction with everything. And
was Scott Pilgrim? I feel like Scott Pilgrim also had this issue where the books weren't done yet, but the movie like had to have the ending before the series had its ending. I hope I'm not remembering that wrong. I feel like that's a thing though.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I didn't know that. Aren't they doing an animation though? And they're gonna have the actors doing the voices?
That's so neat.
That'd be
good.
sick.
I'm excited for
for
that.
that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I would
so
love
good.
to see that. I want to see that art style.
Yeah.
Animated.
Like from the video game art style.
No, like just
Is
from
My Hero animated by Studio Bones?
I think the recent seasons at least have been.
Okay, because I think
I don't know if it's been
remember-
consistent, because sometimes they bring in like, some of the One Punch people that for certain
Yes.
fights and stuff.
So good.
Yeah, because I was remembering for Mob Psycho, which thankfully was all finished manga-wise by the time they did all 3 seasons of the anime. People are like, oh my gosh, my hero is getting shafted, and while Mob Psycho is getting great treatment. I'm guessing it's because of the books not being finished.
Yeah, that might be the case.
It's got to be it.
We always find a way to anime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not every anime can be like, I can't believe my boyfriend turned into a frog, but he's not a frog. He's secretly a ninja. And that's the whole episode.
Gwab.
That's the whole title.
Wow. Dang nabbit, Gwab. I'm a heartthrob too, dang it. Gwab.
I'll turn into a prince. Just give me a kiss.
He's a heart gwab.
I got main protagonist energy too, man.
Wow. Yeah. Even Mob Psycho has their own shadow ninja technique, which is the ethereal bodies technique.
We need to talk about that.
We do.
Because Flower Kraut absolutely went beast mode.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
She knocked out 2. That's impressive for Flower Kraut. I don't think Flower Kraut's been this useful in a battle before.
That mirror image was the best thing you could have possibly done.
So good.
It was clutch.
Like everything just went perfect. Like I thought for sure, because the disciples get 2 attacks, so he was able to take 2 of your mirror images out in a single turn. I thought one of those punches might hit you, and they hit hard.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man, there's no way. I mean, like, this is going to be a tough one for Flower Kraut to sleight of hand the smear, because their acrobatics is outrageous. And
Oh yeah, and her acrobatics is ass. She's got 0 acrobatics, -1 athletics, 0 sleight of hand. It's pretty abysmal. I mean, she is an old lady, of course, but thanks to the bardic inspiration and the mirror image, she got a 26 to compete against that guy's 23.
Yeah, insane.
It was also a very anime moment when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he gets 2 attacks. Like he gets one of the clones. Boom, smoke in the air. Goes for another one. Boom, smoke in the air. 2 left, 1 goes left, 1 goes right. And boom, got him.
Oh, I can visualize it perfectly. Both of them have the sweat drop and they're just like, oh, all right, this better work.
Even Flower Kraut's like, I forgot which one is the real me.
Dude, so is this the episode that we get the One Punch guys to come in and animate for us?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
let's
Because
do
like
it.
I so clearly picture like when Bernice does the jump kick to Sherman too.
Oh.
Like those moments are kind of
Slow-mo.
like with the impact against the shield. That's such a slick visual.
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sherman, yeah, with all the weight.
So all of these things are technically these are our fan anime moments.
Fan anime, I like that. Yeah, that's when it upgrades past fan art.
Fananime. From a DM perspective, I think you guys did pretty solid job with planning it out, because, going in face first into this, facing off against all 7 disciples, and then Caliphran not being far in the cave, probably things would have got real messy real fast. So whittling them down, and there was definitely the chance that they weren't going to fall for Sherman's trick,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about it immediately after.
We had a moment where Aaron went off mic. Yeah, so we shared similar concerns with the plan.
Do you want to dive into what we would have done if it didn't work?
Well, I would have to make that up right now.
Oh, I thought Chad had an idea.
Oh,
There
okay.
we had one idea if like they stopped close enough to the traps and not realizing that there were traps. I had thought maybe I could do a dissonant whisper, like, just run up from behind, do a dissonant whisper, because that forces them to move away from me. And as long as it's not obvious danger, like a dangerous place to run towards, they'll run in that direction. So we're like, that's like plan B or C.
Okay. So you would have forced them to run through the trap.
Yes.
Okay.
If for whatever reason they decided to stop.
Okay. I mean, did you guys have any fail-safe plan if Sherman went up there, did a little dance, and then none of them came after him?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That like the plan at that point was probably going to be Sherman goes, well, that didn't work, and then like fight.
Yeah.
And it would have been just scary.
Oh, yeah. That would have been scary for sure. Yeah, but you guys did a phenomenal job. Like, again, you have these 8 Greco. Only 2 of them really came into play, and one of the tripwires worked. You really didn't give them any opportunity. Like, you guys had set up all of these different points to get the salve smeared on their forehead, and so and the rolls ended up working well. Like even Brandy's roll to take Maris down. Like I feel like things just went almost perfect for you. Like,
it didn't feel perfect at the time. I was so freaked out, like when they wouldn't go over tripwires, or oh god, when the first trip with Sherman on the mount.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That.
I'm so sorry. Had I known you were also going to be rolling a bunch of stuff for like animal handling, I would have done enhanceability on you instead.
It's okay. Had I known, I would have asked.
And then the Krekel getting the shit kicked out of him, that was scary too.
Then my heart sank immediately. I'm like, oh no. Is he dead?
It almost changed my tactics completely. Like I was just like, oh god, the immediate threat. Should I deal with that? And it's like, got to stick to the plan first and then deal with this guy. It's like, you probably heard, like I switched from wanting to do Elderly Blast to doing the mirror image just to get all of his focus on me instead of the other Krekel. Because we can't have more blood on our hands, damn it.
Just can't. Not at this
peek
point.
Behind the screen, the Kenku, they're scouts, they're proficient in what they do, but, not being heroes, not being adventure classes, they only have 13 hit points. And, in D&D, if someone doubles what your current hit points are in an attack, you're dead. You're just straight up dead. And so if this guy had done 26 damage to him, he would be dead. He did 21 damage.
Oh, dang. That was close then.
Freaking A.
So he almost straight up killed that Krekel. And I only have them, I'll have them roll death saves for the first time they go out, but similar to what happened with like Tumbleweed before. If, for a normal person, my ruling is for like a mundane person, they can roll death saves on the first time they fall unconscious. But if they fall unconscious in the same day again, they're dead. Like they don't get to keep on bouncing up and down like adventurers do. So, but yeah, you did save his ass, especially with, I don't even think he got a chance yet to roll a death save before you threw that healing word. So he was good.
Yeah, I don't even think we rolled for the healing word. I think I just like did it and then we kept going.
No, yeah, as long as it was 1 point, he's alive.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that 1 point. I'm grateful.
So I liked the plan you guys had, and definitely had to like kind of think up a lot of this stuff because I'm going with the flow of your plan. So it was very effective. You essentially whittled down more than half of the disciples, but now you've got to deal with Caliphran and the 3 others.
We're just bobbing and weaving. We're maneuvering around these guys like, sorry, I'm saving myself for Caliphran.
I'm saving
You can't
myself
have
for
this bond.
Oh my god. You know what your Caliphran reveal reminds me of now that I think about it?
What's that?
The new Ganondorf reveal.
Oh my gosh. Like the samurai Ganondorf.
Yeah.
So smexy.
Oh man.
What?
Oh, Ganondorf's even howder now.
Oh, do I need to look that up?
It's like, and I'm supposed to fight him?
Punish me, Ganondorf.
But Daddy, I love him.
Califran's ready to punish.
But speaking of love,
Oh my goodness.
a ship did set sail.
I thought it was the right moment. Like, I threw my cards down and I was like, if it's gonna happen, like, this seems like a really serious moment for it to happen. So,
Especially with it being a healing technique, too.
yes.
Yeah.
It was. Now, as you all know, we're both dogs. So, it wasn't like an open mouth, two dogs mouthing each other like thing. I don't want to. So, it wasn't that. But it was more of like a very intimate, like tete-a-tete nuzzle situation.
So was it like, can you feel the love?
Kind of like that, but
Except
dogs.
instead of doing the Nala face, Bernice like wincing in pain,
Yeah.
like and cringing, like
The Nala face.
Meanwhile,
Twitching.
Flowerkraut and Timothy is like, this is how it happens. What? And they don't have a clue. They'll fall in love, and this is the bottom line. Our adventurer party's down to 2.
Oh.
Another crackle. Oh.
This is a random
Yes.
crackle who's listened to the song.
Like one really deep voice
Oh.
crack.
No, that was Barnaby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Barnaby. I had to leave you in the dust there.
Oh, the Barnaby reveal. That was so funny.
Barnaby
Oh my
erupting
gosh.
out of the earth is hilarious.
Well, I
It's-
figure he's of the sand, like Sandbucks. This is Glavio, so it won't like the fine steed element will. I'm imagining it's going to change depending on the environment. Unless there's no like environment, then it'll be like, I don't know, an ethereal Frode from the Feywild maybe at some point. That might be fun.
I would love if they're all still Barnaby though, and he's just like, I'm a frog now.
Guaba guab.
Guaba guaba.
I'd like to get some guabagool after this.
Sam Buckety yuckety.
I don't give a sand fuck about you.
that was great.
The problem I'm gonna have with this is I have multiple fan favorite fan art parts.
Some fan art moments.
Yeah,
I mean, you
oh
should
my
list
God.
all of them. Which ones are you feeling?
So the kiss, obviously, like just like the fact that Sherman like took her mask off.
He apologized
and then
first.
Did that was
I said, you can slap me later if this isn't okay.
an absolute moment.
Yeah.
And then the Flowerkraut like jujitsu overcoming Silas just is such a cool moment. Like it's more than just a freeze frame picture in my mind. It's like Chad was talking about. It's this sequence of a ninja fight going on, and she just slips past his defense, and it's great. And then of course the ending of the episode as Caliphran literally whips the whip off of himself.
Dragon Daddy.
And he's just like glistening blue scales,
I see
shirtless Caliphran.
Janelle, help me out. What is that? JoJo's like that art, like that one pose where it's like super foreshortened, where he's just like walking out.
Oh, I do.
Do you know the pose I'm talking about?
I do.
It's like, yes, I picture that, but sexy Caliphran.
Oh my gosh.
It's like you knew he was stacked, but then when he takes his shirt off, like, oh no,
Oh my.
it's more than I thought.
Oh, yum.
What about you guys? Fan art moments.
Mine's a 2-framer. Besides all the ones that we've already talked about, because we already have our Phenomenations, but mine's a 2-framer where it's just Maris in one frame, and the second is just an entire.
Yes.
His head is just completely engulfed in Brandy tentacles, and it's
love
just
it.
like a real solid smack sound effect.
Brandy, oh my gosh, as a face hugger.
I was gonna say that's mine.
Yeah.
Or what
Yes.
is the Chad? You'll probably be able to pull this out of your brain. The starfish from
Oh, Suicide Squad?
Oh, Starro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very very like just full smack, all limbs starrowed to the face.
Oh, Brandy got a kiss today too.
How funny would it be if like Brandy's like, I'm controlling this one now.
Oh come on,
Yeah,
DC.
yeah.
Wait, Starro,
She Starros it.
DC.
He's mine now.
I'm not trying to knock DC fans, but he's a big intergalactic, interdimensional starfish. What are we gonna call him? Starro.
Is it Starro or Starbo?
Starro.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. Mwah.
You know, if we want to talk starfish or like a comparison, I'm thinking the end fight of The Little Mermaid, where humanoid Ursula just gets peddled with starfish,
Oh yeah.
and like it's just smack, and then the last one like just hits her right over the mouth because it's stopping
yes.
her from
Yeah.
saying anything. And then she has to like rip them off of her.
That is the perfect technique. We just need to chuck Brandy at whichever one looks like it's going to say something first.
Ooh.
Just to completely encase their head.
Brandy suck face.
I will say that you guys are aware of a couple things through this episode. One, that the way that Aster's spell works is that she's like issuing new commands to people. Like they are kind of like on autopilot once she does that. But
She's playing an RTS.
Yes. 100%.
yes, she's playing an RTS. That's a good way of putting it.
Can you explain that to me? What does that mean?
Like StarCraft or Warcraft.
Like picking a unit,
Oh.
telling it what to do, and then going back to what you were doing somewhere else.
She's playing a resource management combat game right now with us.
Got it.
Just
Yeah, real time strategy.
the whole time that was going on, she just kept on clicking on Caliphran to get to his one like hidden phrase.
But that she could speak through those that she's mind controlling, because that was definitely her speaking through California.
This was not to give, I mean, obviously, in my brain for just a split second, and it doesn't make sense character wise, it doesn't make sense plot wise, but just for a second, I thought Caliphran was going to come out and we were going to realize he wasn't under control. This was just who he
That's
was.
what I thought.
that-
Yes.
I got that vibe because even though it was Aster talking through him, she talked through him in his like inflections and like Miriam's and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I was like, is this him? Is this him
Oh,
or
yeah.
her?
I thought maybe he might be gone and seeing Aster as
Well, we made this
like
joke,
not,
right?
She wouldn't need full control of him. She like charmed him into thinking she is like now kind of like a figurehead for Miriam.
It's more it's more the thing like he like it was never the good, it was just like straight up it was just always about Miriam, and he's like, they have more Miriam than you do, I must follow them.
That's exactly it. I swear we made that joke
Yeah.
last Song of Rest. It's like,
Yeah, well, you
like
definitely made that joke.
Aster was
Yeah.
it's like, I have a piece too.
Yes.
It's a bigger piece.
and it's a pretty big piece. I don't like to brag,
A
but
bigger piece.
And mine's bigger. You want me to whip it out for you?
I have a whip of my own.
Oh shit. It keeps coming back to it. It's great.
Well, now you guys get to find out why Caliphran is the proctor,
Oh no.
and they are just disciples.
I have a feeling that we're gonna get some Uncle Iroh like surprise strength and stuff. Like it's gonna be intense and maybe a little bit scary.
well, and I know we want to go all out for this
Yeah.
Dragon Daddy, but we can't forget there's another Dragon Daddy we might have to deal with right afterwards too. Right now we got two old Dragon
Right.
Daddies
Yeah.
that are
What color Dragonborn is?
he's blue.
blue.
He's a blue
Okay.
boy.
Caliphran's blue.
Blue dragon. Fun. Okay.
Y'all need to help me remember that I still have enhance ability. So my decks, I just need to get up in there and do sleight of hand checks all day, every day.
Yeah, let the rogue flow through you.
I only have one level of it, but it's going to be a strong level.
We still have some fan art moments from Janelle and Dustin to hear about.
They haven't.
Or did you guys already?
No, we didn't yet.
Yeah.
Dustin, do you have one?
So that was the whole Brandy thing was definitely what I was thinking of. But if we were to like include fourth wall breaks, Sherman in character yelling up at the sky, like when in his mind the perceived incline turns into a flat surface. And he's like, "Why, God?"
No Sandopolis for you, sir.
No sand surfing, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Aw.
Uh,
No Legolas Sherman.
But outside of that, definitely not the kiss, but the headbutt, just the freeze frame of the
Oh, yeah.
snap out of it, which I might do a re-record on that line.
Yeah, I imagine Sherman was doing that with just like tears running down his eyes, you know, like as he's grinding his forehead into hers, trying to wake her up.
I really liked that. It was like a battle of equals. It was very cool that Sherman squared off against Bernice in that
I
moment.
can picture that too, with like all
Yeah.
of them giving chase, but then one gets a little bit further, and it's not obvious at 1st,
Mhm.
but then as the camera zooms in, we know it's Bernice.
Tokyo Drift, Glavio Drift.
Glavio
Glavio
drift.
Clave Blue, ride your sandbag to victory.
Speaking of Sam Buck, there are already so many good fan art moments to choose from. So it's like I have a treasure trove of options. But one that popped in my head was just fucking Barnaby bursting from the earth.
I feel like it has the same energy as Ace Ventura coming out of the rhino's ass.
yes.
He never knows where he's gonna spawn, so
Oh my
it's just as
gosh.
much as a surprise to him. He's just like a celestial being, just a mouthful of sand, just piercing through the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
This time I'm a turtle.
Internally, Sherman looking up, talking to Tritherion. No one else hears anything. He's like, "You want to do what?"
Brilliant.
I guess.
Oh, and everyone's drawings. That just reminded me when Sherman did the drawing of the mount, and Timothy did the drawing of the cat.
Oh, yeah.
And the drawings of the traps. I just imagine Timothy was like, "And here's a picture of me dying in this trap.
Yeah.
And here's a picture that Tumbleweed gave me. Look at all the pictures my Boys and Girls Club Big Brother program gave me."
Oh.
You're a protege.
I do also love how Timothy has really bonded with the Krekel. You know,
Yeah.
like you're looking out for them. You're like really kind of like your family, you know, like, and you've recognized what kind of sacrifice they've made, and you don't want any more harm to come to them. And it's really cool how Timothy's character is really kind of come, you know, further developed with this whole Glavio arc.
And I think it's just mostly because I don't know if we'll ever get into it narrative wise, but when we were talking about backstories, the Krekel are so far and away different from at least what we had discussed Timothy's flock was like, at least Aaron, you and I, what we discussed about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's him realizing that there's always a different way. And sometimes your family is your found family.
Right.
And I think having Sherman and Flowerkraut, you know, and then Tierman before that. So now it's just like, it's a family, but it's also a community. And I think it's surprising to him because he felt so different because like, oh, he found a friend in this, you know, dwarven bard, and now he's found friends in this half elf, half aquatic elf and this dog paladin. So he just felt like I must just be different. But then he meets these people that, oh, hey, an entire group, an entire gathering of Kenku are friends and work in community and celebrate each other's differences just as much as they do their similarities with the Helax. Huh. So maybe I'm not so different. Maybe, you know, things can just there's others like that follow this way. So I think to him, it's like, oh, I don't feel like an outcast anymore.
Yeah. Or just seeing like it can work.
Yes, exactly. Like, oh, it can work. So when they were thinking about we need to go, he's like, no, don't you know how important this is? This is why you should fight for it. Because it's so important. Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, when she's like, yeah, take some guard with him, like, please don't. I don't want to risk it. Don't need any more. As Janelle said earlier, we don't need any more blood on our hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. But, you did inspire them and they want to fight for their island now. So
it's really cool. And I definitely thought it was awesome to have a gathering of Krekel guards and scouts at our back. It definitely made decision making a little bit easier.
Yeah, it is funny. I had so obviously Flowerkraut would never do this, and Timothy cares a lot about the Krekel. But in the back of the chaotic brain that's happening,
I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah. If the Krekel went down, it's like, oh, north south, perfect.
I was thinking that a little bit too. Is like, guys, we're out, but I've got a solution right here.
I wanted to be a hero.
The one that kicked the Krekel, like it surpassed its double its HP, and it just turns, it just like, just an explosion of feathers.
Oh yeah. Oh, just
brutal.
poof, a cloud of feathers and like a naked bird flying out the other end of it.
Or it's Minecraft style, and it just drops all of its
and turns into a Krekel heart.
Yeah.
It's just floating there.
8-bit, 8 to 16-bit video game style. Just drops its resources.
Oh, that's very video game.
Firecrack comes over with a little
There you
pickaxe.
go.
I got it.
There's some fan art for not this episode, but the last one, and it's Flowerkraut standing in front of the sacrificial altar, and she's holding the heart above her head like Link going, do-do-do-do.
Oh, geez.
Krekel heart.
And everyone around her looks miserable while she's
Just
smiling.
absolutely mortified.
Oh my gosh. That just expanded in my mind to the just the cracking open of a rib cage to the do 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 do.
You got a Krekel heart. Everyone is sad.
It's like that meme, like where it's like everyone else in the morgue or whatever, like me doing this and then everyone else in the place. It would be one picture where it's like me doing a deadlift, and then cut to the other picture of people in shock and horror, and it just says everyone else in the morgue.
I have to also thank Sherman for, we now canonically have a moment with Bernice without her mask. So now I am allowed to draw a maskless Bernice. It's canon now, Aaron.
Yeah. It's canon. The mask has come off. Yeah.
The only reason I bring that up is because I'm drawing a poster that's kind of like the season 2 arc finale. And I wanted to throw Bernice in there, but I'm like, the mask. I'm like, so I drew it without the mask.
Oh, but you have a conundrum now, Chad. Where are you gonna fit sexy Caliphran on that poster?
That's one of the reasons why I redrew some of the background characters. Caliphran's in there, but he's not sexy enough. So I got to go back in and make some adjustments.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry. But I think at this point I will have made this art. I'm still working on it, where there's going to be a romance novel cover of Sherman with Bernice for a song
What was
of
it?
rest.
Desire Unchained or Chains of Desire or something?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a kink in the chain, I believe.
Kink in the chain.
Kink in the chain.
Kink in the chain, yeah.
Yep. Now there's going to be a romance novel cover with Caliphran.
That's a
holding the
Harlequin
whip.
novel cover right there.
So he's got the whip in one hand and he's like dipping Flowerkraut in the other hand.
With the other.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
The title's just going to be At Proctor's Command.
Oh my God. I'm writing it down.
You'll save a piece of your heart.
Hey.
And for no reason, he's got flowing white hair that's blowing in the breeze.
Yes. Not typical for a Dragonborn, but.
Right. Exactly. There's no reason at all.
I also, for whatever reason, I'm also picturing like a really intense illustration of Sherman galloping on Barnaby, but like it's one of those weird stark contrasts where one character is rendered so realistically and over the top, and then the other one it just looks like a derpy One Punch Man like frame. And it's just it's just Barnaby as like that art style.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
It's like the Smash frame where it's if we go back to My Hero, where he's like All Might in one frame and he's like the muscular version of it, and then he turns into his condensed form the next frame with like blood shooting out of his mouth. It's that kind of like over the top dual imagery.
Right.
All right, I've got all the ideas written down. I'm so excited. I have, like 8 bullet points for myself to refer to.
More than enough. And the sexy Caliphran's just the biggest bullet points there.
There's some stars
Oh my
and some
God.
hearts next to that one. I'm really looking forward to that.
Can't believe he's bad, but I love it.
That's fantastic. All right, guys. Well, I think we can wrap this one up.
Hey, that's what Caliphran wants to do too.
Oh my
Dude.
God. Oh no.
Gonna whip it good.
Whip it good.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
If a problem comes along, I must whip it.
It is Miriam's blessing.
I must.
Miriam comes along, I will whip it.
You don't need to strike us, sir.
Yes, that's still my favorite.
Yes, I would do anything for Miriam.
That's still my favorite blooper from last year.
It's so great.
Yes, I'll do anything for your approval.
Would you strike your teeth? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Yes, of
I would
course.
do anything for Miriam. Yes, of course.
Guys, we just need to show our hearts to him. We need to show that we have pieces of Miriam. He'll overcome as he rips it out of us.
By your pieces combined.
Oh no.
All right, I think that was the last joke fizzling out of us.
That's it. Yep.
We got all of our Caliphran kicks out.
Well,
There, we'll be back for
Oh,
more
yeah.
next episode.
yeah,
Trust us.
you guys will get plenty more in the next episode.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our Song of Rest. If you like the adventures your ears just wit on, feel free to listen in on our other adventures from any plane of existence or seeing stone you get your podcasts. Until we meet again, safe journeys, travelers.